was picked up from the grass by a man. Seeing no one around, he took me home. From that day on, I had a mother and a father. Mom made a little bed in a basket, fed me milk from fingertip, and bought a doll, cutting off its clothes for me to wear. Dad wanted to take me outside, so he built a baby stroller by hand, placed me inside it. But my wings were too noticeable, so Mom made a small cape for me, pushed the stroller and took me for walks. The neighbors began to notice me. They all liked me very much, and woman tried to lift the blanket, but Mom nervously pushed me away. Gradually, my wings became covered with feathers. I loved spending time with the chicks, watching the birds fly freely. I flapped my wings with all my strength, longing to soar into the heavens. At night, I gazed at the flocks, imagining myself flying away with them. But when I saw my parents, I changed my mind. I flew between them, fell asleep peacefully. One day, I was sitting with a group of chicks, when I spotted Dad in the distance. I suddenly cried out. Mom was overjoyed, thinking I had learned how to speak. But no matter how hard she tried to teach me, only bird sounds came out of my mouth. As I grew older, I became more mischievous. At mealtime I loved perching on top of the cabinet, refused to come down, until a spider crawled across the floor. Then I fluttered down at once. Even though Mom thought insects were disgusting, she still prepared a worm lunch for me. One day, Mom decided to treat me to a special meal. I could not help happily flapping my wings. Just then a hunter walked by. Frantically, she locked me inside a restroom. But when she opened the door, I had already flown away. My parents quickly packed bags, boarded a train to search for me. Meanwhile, I was flying south with a flock of geese, experiencing a freedom I had never known before. I even did not want to go home anymore. Soon, I became exhausted and fell from the sky. Luckily, I landed on a bed. A little girl found me sleeping there. She curiously touched my wings and woke me up. For long we became friends. She built a nest for me, taught me how to read, and took me out to play. But I still dreamed of flying, often slept in the trees. The girl always stayed by my side, until this day. I followed the geese once again. As I flew along, another flock of birds collided with me. I crashed onto the roof of a church. Quickly I was discovered. The firefighters arrived. They stretched out a rescue cushion below, sent a firefighter up to the roof, but I had no idea what they wanted to do. By the time he reached the top, I had already flown away. Ahead of me lay the ocean. I tried to fly across the sea, but ran out of strength, fell into the water. As if guided by instinct, Dad rushed into the sea, picked me up once again. He bandaged my wings. I was grateful to my parents. We spent a wonderful night, but I could no longer suppress my longing for the sky. Kept throwing myself against the window. Finally they decided to let me go. Mom tossed me gently into the air. I lifted off softly, and chose freedom. If you were me, would you stay with your family or follow your dreams?